Well, moving along here, Nastia came along and painted this all with the flat back black Rust-Oleum. Looks good. It's kind of messy right now, but I cut up some plywood, made myself a transmission tunnel. I got a gas pedal and a brake in there. I got to move them around. But here's the brake. It took quite a while to do that. I got a big plate out here, and that'll squeeze into the big bracket inside, and that should do the brakes. And then a bunch more parts came, and so I got my little progressive linkage here. That works good. Sets up this carburetor. It'll open first and then get the second one. I still got quite a bit of stuff to do with that. I had 1/2-inch spacers. They wouldn't work at all, and so today these 1-inch ones came. I mounted that in there. Here, of course, we've got the frame all painted again. Nastia cleaned this all up. Anyway, I replaced it with these good springs. It might have been in another video, but then what I did was the camera was out real bad, so I put a porta power across there from the tops of these shock towers, spread it out good, and I've got about 0 camber in it right now on both wheels. That's pretty good. I still have a couple of adjusters in here. I took them all out of that one, and then had a piece of channel iron here. I spread it open about 3/4 of an inch, and I cut that one and pounded it in, and then welded it good, and it gave me about 1/4 of an inch on each side of the radiator here, which is better. It was touching before, so now the radiator's in, and I always thought I was going to have to cut the bottom of it off, but I don't have to anymore. And so the shell's good. I got all of this front end all braced up good. My steering is straight. And this was a nightmare. I got a bunch of brake parts. I finally was able to get the brakes together on this. I got the wheel back on right now, but it was a lot of fun doing that and straightening out that gap in the frame. Made this place down here where I was touching the frame open up. Put starter back on. It's all painted flat black. I'm gonna get some cast iron paint, but all I could find was this high temperature header paint, ceramic. So I did the manifolds. They look pretty good. Here's another part to the puzzle. This is a transmission kickdown bracket. Here's the rest of it here. Now this, I don't remember exactly how it went. Mounted up here on the manifold somehow. Something like this. I'm not exactly sure what that was. And the throttle hooked into this business. backwards, I don't know. But I cleaned that up. I was going to try to keep this. I think it went like that. And that rod was the throttle cable. So I don't know. I might move it up here. Looks like I got some mounts there for it. I'm not sure what would happen here. This has got some kind of a geometry to it for the throttle. So who knows, I might be able to take this this rod right here and hook it into that this back carburetor. This works real good. Yeah, sets up there. About half throttle, it contacts that one, and then it opens all 8 barrels. So I got something playing around with that linkage to do, and I have to build me a big brace in there for the firewall. This brake is just, you can see how it's been pretty tight, but you can see the whole firewall just flexes there. It's nowhere near strong enough. I'll probably run it on the inside and then bolt it down to the frame. Got some steel here. Still not sure what I'm going to do with the shifter. Seats came, threw them in. But anyway, just a little more step here. I keep forgetting to put stuff on, but I'll make a video of it. Well, the motor's starting to look pretty good. Looks real good in the camera. And then we put on the exhaust, clean up the rest of this frame. Still got a lot of work, a lot of wiring. I'm gonna, now I got the master cylinder, I can start bending some of the brake lines. Start laying that out at least. Well, working on this firewall here, I decided to take this dash out so I can see what I'm doing rather than try to lay down. And of course these screws are rusted in. So what I'm going to do is just drill them out. A little trick to this, you take a cutoff tool or something and make an X in it where you got a center. And then what I did, I drilled all these to down past the head of the screw. And now I'll put a bigger bit in there and just drill that head. Hopefully that'll just take that bolt right out. Alright, I drilled one here. Keep it right there. And I want to drill the second one. And don't look like that one come out yet. Probably get an electric drill. Might not have it centered, but if it don't, I can just whack it off with a chisel or something. Alright, got all them drilled, and ta-da, falls right out. I can take that, clean it up. That shows you where my firewall is now. I can get to it real easy. Should have done that before I put the brakes in. Trying to look at some kind of cross channel up in here. Hoping this 1-inch stuff would fit. Looks like it'll fit over here. Not here. Anyway, I think I would put something right across that bottom brace there, all the way across, and then drop it from there straight down and bolt it, make a tab and bolt it there where I'm bolting it to the frame. Anyway, got a guy who has a bunch of steel. He's bringing me some steel. Move on from there. Well, I kind of tacked this in. Looks like I burned through it everywhere I touched it on this real thin stuff, but it's pretty solid. I need to put a couple bolts and washers through this, and I welded it down in there to the tab that the frame is mounted on. Kind of cleaned up. Well, a little more. Just blew my fuse. I didn't finish that one, but it's pretty strong. Put my foot in it here. Oh yeah. I can't feel it give it all. Yeah, that's pretty strong. So maybe I get the other side done and run a couple braces across here from this. What I was thinking about doing was running a piece of angle iron like this. Up in there like that, and taking it straight across to this. I don't know what yet will happen. Might be able to put a a half-inch square piece around there. Make a tab there to the top. That won't be real strong, but it'll be pretty good. And then if I put this is fairly strong, so I think if I run a little piece back of the dash, or I could even run something heavy like this back in there, and then that'll be plenty big to brace that brake. Anyway, I'll go over here and cut me a piece here. Continue trying to brace up this main brace across the frame. Here's a couple hours work. We got a piece of 90-degree angle in there, a couple inches long below this 1-inch bar. And I got it centered over where I need to mount it. And I've got it kind of clamped in. This firewall was just straight, but that one had some kind of hump and a bend and something in it. So it took me a while to get that all sorted out. And this is up at an angle. But what I'm going to try to do right now is weld that piece that's below that 1-inch iron. I don't know, you can't really see it. See, there's an angle iron under there, and on the outside I got the outside here kind of straight. You can see the firewall part here looks good, but then it had some kind of a bend inside. I don't know what they were trying to do, but I got it beat pretty flat, and I can weld my piece of angle iron there. So anyway, got it clamped in. Now I'm going to try welding this stuff and then clean it up and then weld this other brace up in here. That should do it, and I should have enough room to put a bolt through it without having to alter my bracket I put here on the frame. I can still take it off. I welded it pretty good in the back, but I can always take it off and move it. But that's where I really want it, right there. So we'll weld this all up. You can see one of the patches here. You know, actually those guys did a pretty good job on this. And I got one more thing we've been doing. Got this rust stop stuff. We just painted this. Goes on, you know, kind of a white stuff, and this here is pretty much dry in here. See, it just turns it all into a black. Camera ran out of juice. Anyway, what I'm going to do is tack this in. And then try to clamp in that big one and pull my clamps off and see what it looks like. Well, I got it welded pretty good there. Tacked it to the metal. It's kind of glarped it onto that, but it's penetrated. Didn't burn it out. This one over here is a little better, but that's plenty strong, and it's not wiggling at all. This firewall here, of course, I gotta put some bolts in it, and I'll put 2 more bolts here, probably one like right here, one there. Big fender washers on them. Anyway, that should make this plenty strong. Not the best welding in the world, but I got a crop welder, and I'm not a good welder. Well, it's hard to do this. It's all dirty and everything. Anyway, there it is. Hard on my back. Put my foot on it. Yeah, it's not. I can see it flexing just a little bit. I'm putting pretty good pressure on it. So probably an inch piece across there would probably be overkill. So probably 1/2 inch channel iron across the top. Maybe 1/2 inch piece of square tubing. And then I can drop that down pretty easily down into here. I still have to cut that one. But I got plenty of room there to put a piece and then tack that across here. And that should make it plenty strong. Then I can worry about getting some more bolts on this thing. Still got it crooked. I might take it off and enlarge some of them holes. Get it a little more straight up and down. But anyway, starting to get this cowl done. I'll probably have the rest of it done today. Well, I got me a 1-inch square tube. I cut it, and you can see here I tacked it 2 or 3 places on the bottom to hold it. Bored it, put some bolts through it, squeeze it down real good. I'm just going to tack it here on the top, and then I'll run some kind of a weld brace from that right down to that 2-inch piece I put in the bottom. It's super strong. I can barely see it moving. Not strong enough for a brake yet, but at least it's not just moving like it was. Yeah, that's what I came up with. Just a 1/2-inch square tube run up there, and about 3 inches welded into the plate. I'll do the same over there. But it's pretty strong. I can't even move it all with my foot. So I think once I brace it up into the brake pedal, and I'll run another one out here on the dash. That'll help it even more, keep from twisting. But that's alright. And I'll just have to cut a notch right there where the floorboard goes, and a little one over there. But that's a lot, basically a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Well, I knew it was gonna be super strong, but I didn't know it was gonna just be a small amount of work. And I bolted these on the front with nice big fat washers. So that made that whole firewall real strong here. So looks like I'm doing a pretty good job. Carburetors look good. Yeah, we painted the rust with this rust converter. It's kind of dry. You see, it looks good. There's what the original door looked like. And there's the inside. The inside door's been done. Neither one of these have. But it actually looks real good. I don't think I'm even going to paint this thing. I'm just going to use this rust converter. Here was the second coat on this. That kind of made it look a golden black color. I think it'll be just fine. There's the gray paint that we painted it before. Undercoat paint. But looks good.